Welcome. Okay, the news is 51.5% of women and 30.3% of men over the age of 50 have low bone density in the femoral neck or lumbar spine. And you're watching this because you're concerned about osteoporosis and low bone density. We're going to do 3 exercises to help you with that condition. But if you don't mind, I'd like to explain this femoral neck issue that, of course, we all want to avoid falling down and breaking our hips and fracturing our spine. So the femoral neck, the upper leg bone here is called the femur. At the top of the femur, like a bone, right? There's this head of the femur, and then there's this other bony structure that here attaches to the sacrum. And this neck of the femur, like that is the area that they're talking about, that why people fracture their hips. The bone density of the femoral neck is weak, and some incident happens, and you might just stand up out of a chair and fracture your hip or your spine. So what should we do? Great news, there are ways you can strengthen. First of all, anytime you apply load to your body, like lifting a weight heavier than your body, will help stimulate your bones to become stronger. If you already have osteoporosis, just be careful. These exercises should be of benefit. So we're doing something simple. Okay, I know you've carried backpack, but let's pay attention to how we do that, because we want to fix our back and not break our knees and backs. So this backpack is 27 pounds. I have another smaller one. If you don't have it today, I suggest you just watch, do the exercises. In the future, start loading it. So this is a smaller one. The important thing is it should have this strap. So it has a strap that goes across the chest. The waist strap, in my opinion, is not that critical, but you must have one across the chest. Why is that? If you don't, the weight of the backpack will pull the shoulders down and force your head forward. You just watch little kids, they're walking around like that with this big backpack. The other factor is the backpack must not be too low. If it's around your hips here when you walk, it'll restrict your pelvis, and that will create discomfort into your lower back. So you should have loading here in the lower back area above the hips, and a strap across the chest. And those 2 loading factors, if you just stand up and try this, if you put one hand here and one hand here and push this hand toward your chest and this hand here into the top of the hips, just above the hips, that helps you stand upright. And that will give you support for your spine and strengthen your posture. So I'm going to now pick up my backpack and put it on. So this one is a peak design. It's a little too big for me. It's a little too low into the hips, but it works. So you see I've got this chest strap. It's quite convenient. But if it's too loose, you see my backpack's a bit too low here. I would like it to be slightly higher. So I tighten it up as much as I can. Now it's a bit tight up here too. Like I said, it's slightly too big for me, but it does work. And you can see because I have the support, it helps you stand up and keep the head back. Okay, so first of all, you have it on, you have something heavy. Immediately, you're making your bones stronger. Because of the pack loading here, that will help strengthen your hips and strengthen the femoral neck and your spine. Now, particularly the lateral movements, when we walk like this side to side, that very specifically strengthens the muscles around the femoral neck, around the hip external rotators, and will build up your bone density in this most critical area. So the first thing is, I already was doing this, walking back and up and down the hallway for 5 minutes. And when we're walking, so we're just walking properly, opposite arm and leg go forward. When you get to the end of the hallway, you turn around. One time you turn clockwise. The other time you turn counterclockwise, so that you're always evening out your rotation. So one way you're turning toward the right. The other time, you're turning toward the left. Now, another component is you don't want to twist your knees. We actually want to fix your knees and strengthen your knees. So as you're walking, You need to make sure that you're upright and that you don't let your knees collapse in. So if I show you from the front, okay, so here the legs track forward, don't let your ankles drop in or the knees drop in. And another factor of the turning, so we're going to turn, we're walking at home. Today it's icy outside, I'm not wearing this outside, it's a bit too slippery. When you turn, do not pivot on your toes. If you pivot, you're going to twist your knees, they will be sore. But if you take like this steps, right, and you walk around, take small steps, walk around, and walk the other direction, small steps, walk around, and you'll notice when you take the pack off, you feel like way stronger, and your bones and muscles are much stronger. Now, particularly for the femoral neck, we want to strengthen the outside of the hips. So here's the next exercise. You go sideways like this with arm swings, and you just keep walking side to side according to how much range you have. And I would do a few times in both directions, and then take a little rest. And I like to alternate it, so I'll turn around like this, and then again side to side. I would typically do 4 sets of 8 steps side to side. And yes, you'll strengthen your feet, but I would suggest wearing shoes, like some really good stable running shoes. I wouldn't wear slippers. Slippers will you get your toe caught. That's exactly what we don't want to do. Okay, now another exercise is walking forward and backwards. The other benefit of going backwards is it improves your brain function, your cognitive abilities. That's been well researched in studies. So you walk forward and then transition, walk backwards. So you might do that a few times forward and backwards. And then, rest in the middle and then take, a few more repetitions forward and backwards. And when you're walking, this is another critical component in terms of the knees. The walking must be like this, opposite an arm and leg go forward. You might need to think about that. Make sure that you're not doing this like leaning to the side stuff. No, we want our spine to be centered. We want our knees to stay aligned. Okay, have fun, enjoy it. Make sure you have the proper size backpack. Yes, you can get those weighted vests, but I think it's better to wear a backpack like this because you want to, the load here will give you more support for your lumbar spine and help you to stand up straight. You don't want something that's going to pull you down. Okay, everybody, have fun, enjoy, and be careful. And not to worry, we've got a lot of strategies to build up your bone density. Thank you very much for coming.